Hello, lovers, fans, casual viewers, and newbies to Nollywood. It's your girl Mimi here, and you're listening to the Exploring Nollywood podcast. On last episode, we were talking with actress Diana Yekinni, and this is our part 2 with Diana.
Okay, let's move to you personally. Okay, do you have a favorite Nollywood film? Either one you've worked on or
Girl, you asked
from
me a question.
childhood?
Oh, actually, I do. I love the movie Madame Dearest by Tade Ogidon.
Oh, that's an old one.
It wasn't gonna be new, baby. No, but you know when someone asks me like if someone asks me my favorite actress or my favorite, international film, even if it was done in 1990 something, I'm still gonna pick that, even if stuff has come out before, because I need to. If you ask me that question and only one thing pops into my mind, I'm that kind of person. I'm never gonna change it.
Oh,
It's
wow.
very rare. Don't get me wrong, I've seen amazing movies that I'm like, oh, this was good. I enjoyed this. Da, 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 da. But if you ask me my favorite, like something that I watched and I thoroughly enjoyed and I was taken on a journey and all the na Madame Dearest or baby girl. Yeah.
So, well, I don't know how old. I just know it's old. But why do you like it?
It's like early 2000, if not.
I think it's in the 90s.
I enjoyed the story and I was introduced to some new actors that I hadn't seen before. That was the first time I saw Gabriel Folayon in a film. And I just, remember, it was like a good chunk of it was Yoruba and then it was like part English, but the storytelling, it was well packed in. And I felt it was honest. I was taken on a journey and I thoroughly enjoyed the film.
So that's the most important part.
The story.
For a film. And this is not even only Nollywood. A story that's engaging.
Yeah. I want to root for somebody.
That emotional connection.
This is it. If I'm watching something and I don't care what happens to anybody, you failed. Even in a comedy, I need to care and want to know what's the outcome of this guy or this girl. Like, I want to root for somebody. Like everybody, the whole point is when you're making a film, whose team am I on? Because there's investment. I'm sold and I'm watching to the end. It's like, as bad as Married at First Sight UK is, sorry, this is a slight tangent. It's trash, hot doo-doo. But I love it because you find a couple and you're
rooting for them.
I want to follow, and I'm rooting for them. I want to root for them. And then along the way, production comes into it. You're like, okay, lighting is good. I'm not distracted by somebody's phone going off that was not inside the film, or a light falling, or the boom in the
mic.
So I'm thinking, so that's what I'm saying. And I think we've got all that stuff down. We've got all the accoutrements. We've got all the aesthetics. And I think it's coming, like, sound is what we're doing a lot better.
We're doing a lot better.
A lot better. When it comes to story, I'm lost. And I'm like, why should I care about this person? Why did I need 45 minutes to know that he's a bricklayer? Why? Do you know? No. So I feel like so if someone's to ask me again, what's my favorite film? I'm on Madame Dearest too. That's the one that comes to my mind immediately.
What's one you've seen recently that you liked?
And why you? I don't watch Nollywood. Don't be offended. Yeah, recently.
No, so none of the big trending ones.
Don't ask me question, Mimi. Don't ask me question. I don't know the answer. Please leave me. I plead the fifth. I don't know. Please.
Okay.
So hashtag support Nollywood. That's how I hashtag support Nollywood. That's what I say.
But, and here's a question. Do you think it is fair to be so harsh on the industry, given that we are a new industry?
Excuse me, is a baby, how long is a baby 1? How long is a baby 2? How long is a baby 3? Now, because this whole new. You can't breastfeed 20 plus years. I feel like that's not an excuse. I feel like that was an excuse for a while. And I had validity. However, as it stands now, so when are you no longer new? Now, real question, please answer.
I don't know when you're as old as Nollywood, when you're as old as Hollywood.
You will never be, because we're always going to be behind. They started sooner. So when are you no longer new?
When are you no longer new? We don't know.
Yeah. So if someone can give me an answer to that, I would love it. Thank you so much. So for me, I don't think that's gonna fly.
Fair dues. That's a very good point. Like, when are we gonna start making excuses? But the country itself is young.
My dear, you're annoying me. What do you mean the country is young? Please, dear.
I'm a Nollywood apologist.
So you've you've gotten to, in this your newness, so you're on Netflix, you're on Amazon, you're going to TIFF, you are seen on planes internationally around the world. You have international distribution. You have done collaborations with the US. You've done collaborations with India, Bollywood. You've had critically acclaimed international stars in your films. You are fully functioning body filmmaking institute. What's new about that? That sounds pretty fleshed out, isn't it?
I can't say anything to that. You make a good point.
Yeah, it sounds pretty solid. Doesn't sound like training wheels at all.
That's true. But then, as you said, the Nigerian factor is what is pulling us back.
What, not today? No, not today. Is it today that Niger factor was shocking somebody?
No.
Like I said, we know it's happening. What is the contingency plan? For instance, God forbid, if we know that Nigeria is not changing anytime soon, like I said,
And
God
it's not.
I think if you know it's not changing anytime soon, what are you doing to make it easier for yourself? Like what things are you putting in place? What is your contingency plan?
I think there's some very good indie directors coming up.
Oh, I don't doubt that. And you say not because if their movies aren't mainstream, it doesn't get seen.
I mean, yeah, but then that's another barrier, I guess, which is another Nigerianness, is in that if you don't have the money, you don't get the stars. If you don't get the stars, nobody's interested in putting it on any platform. Your talent goes unseen,
basically.
But there have been some really good indie ones that are coming up. Some people with talent, story-wise.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there's been quite a few films that have come out, but that's not.
It's those films I want to hear about.
Yeah, but that's not the bulk of Nollywood. That's not the bulk of Nollywood, and we have to think of the masses because a lot of them, even if they get cinema time, a few weeks, if that, and then if they want to do, the international circuit, they have to receive acknowledgement internationally before they are recognized locally.
Yeah,
I lie.
Yeah. All true. The Nigerianness of the whole industry is putting us back. Okay, so let's go into actors. And why did you want to become an actress? That's good.
I don't think it was a become. I just knew what I was going to do from the age of 5. It is what it is. Like, there's no why.
You just knew.
I've been doing this. Like, yeah, started acting, all the creative stuff, singing, dancing, all of it from like 5. So there was never an epiphany or decision. There was no confusion where I was going to school. Everybody knew. Mommy, daddy, everybody knew. They just went along with it. They put their money behind it. They put their energy behind it. There was no, I decided that this is what I love. It's just what I know. Like, I remember first play I ever did or first play I ever saw. It's kind of so ingrained in me. There was no decision. It was to be. It was, yeah.
It just was. That's a beautiful way to say it. Not a lot of people know what they want to do or know what they are so easily.
No, I agree. It's a blessing and a curse though, because it means you've been pursuing it since you could breathe. That's what it feels like. And then at the same time, it's good to know so you've been kind of very forward thinking and that's your focus. But when you've also been doing it for so long, fatigue enters in and all the kind of other things that come with being a creative come into play. So yes, blessing and a curse.
So who is an actor in Nollywood that you would admire?
Oh God, Mimi, why?
It's a Nollywood podcast. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just trying to think.
Someone that at least
you know what, right?
Yeah.
She just popped into my head. You don't see her as much, but I think she's very talented. Bimbo Akintola.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I can see the similarities between you guys too.
No, I know where you're going with this.
No, I'm gonna say, but both very theater oriented, good diction, a certain sort of class. You guys have the same air about you.
There's an energy. But yeah, I think she's very talented, very, very talented. I think she is underrated. She definitely I think she's celebrated definitely. But and I think she's very selective. But anytime I see her, you can see the wheels turning and you can enjoy a performance from her. So she's the person that comes to mind.
That's really good. Like I really enjoy Bimbo Akintola. In the video streaming days, oh my God, she was the queen.
Oma, she did everything. She
was the queen. She was amazing. I loved her. Okay. I usually play a game with my guests. I don't know how you're gonna find it. I usually play a game which is sort of create your own Nollywood movie.
Okay.
Where you have unlimited budget, you can cast anyone alive or dead. You can do any thing you want.
Okay.
Okay, first of all, what genre is it in?
It'd be a drama. We struggle in that area.
We struggle in drama.
My dear, let me shut up. Please do.
If there's anything we know how to do, is to shout and to
But
emote.
no, this is my point. That's bad.
Okay.
So we struggle in drama. Why are we shouting?
Because we're dramatic and we're Nigerians.
Hey, like I said, drama.
Okay, it'll be a drama. Who would you cast?
This is gonna sound. I would cast Taiwo Hassan, which is stage name Ugugu. I would cast Bimbo Akintola. I would cast myself because,
of course,
I'd cast. I don't know what the story is. I'm just throwing people inside this film.
No. You see, the beauty of this game is that as you keep thinking, so an idea forms in your mind.
It's not for me. I'm just, but yeah, I think that's kind of I'd cast Ade, I'd cast Darkwani, I'd cast her, I would cast. They're all Yoruba people. I'm such a diehard Yoruba fan. It's so bad. I'd cast Stella Damasos. I like her.
What will be the good thing about your film?
The story will have a beginning, middle, and an end.
Oh, that tells me all I need to know about your opinion of Nollywood.
There will not be holes. There will be an A story, a B story, and a C story.
Oh wow.
There will be no superfluous characters. If the film can survive, if I remove you, you don't need to be inside. So the film would make sense from beginning to end. It will have clear themes. It will not have too many themes. I will have a target audience. It will have clarity. It will be concise, and it will move you to conversation of a good nature.
Oh, lovely. Have you ever thought of going into production?
My dear, I don't like it.
Okay.
Nope.
Just want to go act your thing.
I've produced before. Like I co-produced on Waka Pass, which was on Iroko with Ola. Producing is a lot of work. I was a creative producer on that. So I have produced before, and I'm not. If I produced, it'd be on a lower scale, and it would be fully like I'd need to really be in control. A lot of productions, the head EP is a money man and not a creative person. So that's where the clash happens. Creative people need money people. We're just not always savvy in that way. However, the person has to respect the craft and the artistry for it to be symbiotic. So, and sometimes they're on two different pages. One person's, I need to make sure I get my return. One person's like, the story's so integral, we need to do it justice. There's too many cooks in the kitchen. So that's, yeah.
So that, what would be bad about your film? Because no film is perfect.
No, I agree. No film is perfect based on, the idea that beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So in my eyes, I would cross my T's and dot my I's. So as it stands now, I will not be releasing a film that isn't of a certain standard and doesn't deliver in my eyes. And my eye is a, 15 years creatively driven, talented eye. But I'm not saying it'd be perfect. But as it stands now, I can't tell you something that'd be wrong with it, because if it's wrong with it, I'd fix it before it was released.
Oh, okay. All right. That's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, I don't know. I've released films that aren't ready, but look at me. What's my own?
No, but even let's say, what's a good Hollywood film that you would say, yes, they've done this, they did it well?
Oh, again, I always take it back to the old stuff. The What's Love Got to Do with It Tina Turner life story film that Angela Bassett was the lead in. I think it's a phenomenal film. I can't find a flaw in that film. If I did, it would be me being pedantic.
Not even the workout scene where the dude playing Ike Turner hits her
in the booth.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, are you kidding me? I love that. Wait, what? That was just some guttural, core hitting moments. Again, based on who's watching and what we're looking for and what we enjoy. I went to see a show recently, and I went to see a new Amazon. I've already said it now. Went to go see a new Amazon show, and I hated it. However, I'm not the target audience. I'm not the demographic.
That's
so I cannot like it. It was very, very much and I don't enjoy the content. No, it's true now. But however, there is a huge demographic that they relate to it, they understand it, they appreciate it. So I can't be mad at that.
I really wanted to talk about the documentary that you are in, Skin.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's probably a big thing.
Yeah, I really like that document. We've touched a bit on it, the whole Nollywood and the thing, but I want to
Yeah.
talk about generally like this whole dark skin, light skin issue. Like
Okay.
you're very proud and bold about your skin color. It was a very like explorative documentary about the way the color of your skin impacts the way people see you in Nigeria. Why do you think the color of your skin, the lighter you are, the prettier you are, the more beautiful, the more desirable you become? Why do you think this is an issue in Nigeria?
It's about proximity to whiteness and how that determines your value. And we've determined that the value is high. And it sounds cliche, but it is about colonialism. We are still very beholden to, European standards in every way, shape, and form. And that has a lot to do with texturism, featureism, colorism, all the isms, like all of them. And people deem people of a fairer complexion as finer. And therefore, when you think of such a aesthetically driven industry, you're going to put the finer people, quote unquote, the light skinned people on screen. So they're front runners. Ultimately, if you put a dark skinned person and a light skinned person up against each other in Nollywood, 9 times out of 10, you're going to pick the light skinned person. And that doesn't take away from their talent. I'm not saying they're any less talented, but they do have a leg up in every way in Nigeria. Sometimes they ain't got shit talent, let's be honest. But I know a lot of fairer skinned people are very offended when people have this conversation, but they have to understand you are a part of the problem if you don't understand your privilege.
Yeah, it's privilege.
And become an ally. So it's privilege. And let's be very clear here. I have a privilege. I have an accent. I have a privilege. I have a British passport. I have a privilege. I went to a certain type of school. These are all types of privileges. But what privilege one privilege no one can tell me I have is I don't have light skin privilege. In fact, I have darker skin, which then opens a whole smorgasbord of problems, in this entertainment industry. I don't believe, like, I'm not a pity party type of girl because I'm talented and I'm beautiful. Hello. So I'm finna work.
Yes.
However, in Nollywood, I have less of a leg up based on my skin tone. And I'm not just dark, I'm like dark. People think I'm from all sorts of countries besides Nigeria.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the industry is driven by our cultural issues, that cultural trauma that we have yet to address. Because again, even when you think of the way bleaching is done, it's promoted.
It's celebrated.
Most definitely. So until you stop celebrating something that is so heinous, disgusting, and leads to death, why would an industry stop putting them as the forefront?
And encouraging little girls, people, just teenagers, even girls as young as 5 to say, oh, I'm not light enough, or I'm too dark.
But then if all they're seeing is representation as well, if all they're seeing on screen is that the main girl they see every single time is fair skin, why would you want to be the color you are? We need more. And I will say this, there has been more, but it's not significant enough. It is barely scratching the surface. But again, what I learned very early on when I moved to Nigeria, or I say when I left, was I am one person. I was not put on this earth to fix Nigeria's problems. So I got to fix my fronts because I can't. I can do the one I do. When I speak up about it, I show up in places, I have conversations, and I'm unapologetically happily dark skin. So, and whoever follows me follows that journey, and I'm going to empower you wherever and whenever I can. But it is not a one-person job. I'm not about to carry that on my head. And for the longest time, I used to feel like I was the poster child for it because I was so loud. I was so vocal. But I was like, you guys don't know. I was a fighter when I first moved to Nigeria. Thank God because if you try me, I will. Are you mad?
And then they depressed it out of you.
Do you understand? Then after like a few years, I was like, I'm gonna keep fighting people over the same thing. I'm not changing my complexion. You're not changing your opinion. So let's just find a way to coexist. Until I was like, yeah, just coexisting. This ain't for me. I'm too gorgeous and too talented to
be doing that
in this swimming pool of bullshit. So peace.
Let's talk about lighting now. If anyone listens to this, go and watch Woman King. It's a beautiful story, beautiful film, just gorgeous. But the way they lit black skin in that movie, or look at Black Panther, just the richness.
They looked like black diamond. They were crystallized. It was like the sun was shining from within their skin. It was beautiful.
It was just a feast for the eyes. And you rarely have that. You rarely have that celebration of just the variety of skin tones on any screen. But do you think we'll ever reach a point? Because we're supposed to be, as African cinemas, as Nigeria, the biggest, one of the biggest African industries. Why should we not be at the forefront of promoting lighting black skin? Why is it that there is such a lack of just...
Do we have the skill? Do we have people that are trained? Do we have the skill? Do we have people that are trained? That's integral. I think there are people that have learned on the job but didn't have any formal training in it. There are people who didn't have any formal training in that area but are doing the job. And that's not to say you can't learn on the job, but with something as specific as that, you kind of need to. So I think we really need to focus on how much training and how much skill has been acquired by the people that do these jobs currently in Nigeria. If Lupita Nyong'o came to Nigeria, they would find someone, they would figure it out because she is who she is. So they've not been challenged enough and have not cared enough. That's how I see it anyways. Because I know sometimes I see myself on screen in Nigeria, I'm like, chai.
Oh, God.
I find this team say it's a disgrace. God damn. But yeah, so I think until we take our craft seriously in every area of filmmaking and storytelling, that, you know, we're going to keep getting what we look like. And it means darker skinned people looking ashy, looking like back foot. That's what like time. Some people get it right, but it's just, if it's nighttime, I'm going to say rap. You walk for Abby, so you disappear. But yeah, move.
No, let's hope. But it's not likely to change anytime soon. But let's hope that Hollywood affects Nollywood.
Do you know what is? We need a gatekeeper with a lot of integrity.
Integrity is hard to find in Nigeria. I'm sorry, but integrity is hard to find in Nigeria.
We need gatekeepers with integrity.
Okay. We recently did an exploration on Nollywood, historicals, traditionals, epics, whatever you want to call them. And I was of the belief that Nollywood has the responsibility, nay, the obligation to teach us about our history, about what we've been through, both as a country and before we're a country, what slave trade, colonization, blah, 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 blah. I believe that, first of all, we're not educated well as Nigerians in history. We're just not educated about our history. And Nollywood needs to be able to fill in those gaps. My co-host Tony disagreed. She says Nollywood is just for entertainment. What's your point on that?
I think we have a strong track record of forcing and dumping responsibilities on the film industry.
Oh.
To be specific, I think it's very selfish to require or even think that Nollywood is solely responsible for that. First and foremost, what the heck are we teaching in our schools? What are we teaching in our homes? That's too much pressure to put on a film industry. That is not the film industry's job. Yes, I do think we can tell more stories of our history as people that just have interest and just for, you know, entertainment purposes and maybe for teaching purposes. But ultimately, as a country, we need to do better. We need to focus about what we're teaching in schools, get a better educational system, as to stop striking. If people were going to school and were steadily in school and there was less children hawking, no children hawking, they were actually in primary school, that should be taught in classrooms, in a concentrated environment, not over the TV screens. Because even if we say all of this, how many people have access to entertainment in Nigeria? How many people have access to DSTV, GoTV, Google? How many people can afford to go to the cinema? So we can't put it on an industry that requires funds. So for you to even have access to it, because then it's no longer free, you're almost paying to learn about your history. So let's educate our parents, let's educate our grandparents who are therefore going to educate their children. It has nothing to do with the industry. Yes, I do think industry has a part to play in terms of just making sure they incorporate, you know, things that are intellectually driven, things are historically driven, and tell them authentically, and just to even hold up our culture. However, I do not think they are solely responsible. I think that's unfair. The same way someone's unwell, everyone's like, oh, reach out to this person. You ask all these celebrities or people that are in entertainment. It is unfair because you do not know their actual situations. You're not in their homes. Let's be very clear. Social media is a fantasy and you're being sold a fantasy. It's smoke and mirrors. Ultimately, unless you know the person, see them as just that, an entertainment person, someone who is a creative on screen. You're not going to message Beyonce and ask her to pay your rent. So don't do it to someone in Nollywood. It's very bloody silly.
Oh, Nigerians are shameless.
And don't get me wrong, I get why they're doing it, because people are pretending they're flossing bigger than they are, and they're writing checks that they can't cash. However, it does not entitle you to anybody doing anything for you. Nigeria is a hard place. I don't knock it. But if you chose to have 5 children, my dear, baby boy and baby girl, now you go train. Now you go tomo.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast, Diana. You're now an official friend of the pod. I'm having you back for the Yoruba movie episode because I don't watch Yoruba movies. So I need someone to guide me through that. Where can people find you? And do you have any upcoming projects? I mean, we mentioned Midsomer on ITV. Looking forward to that one. I'm going to make everybody watch it. Trust me.
Yeah. So Midsomer Murders coming on ITV, I think this, in the next few weeks. The new season is starting. So in the new season, I'm also on a feature film coming out on Netflix, feature film starring Gal Gadot. So that's coming out next year. Excited about that. It was a lot of fun. They shot in Germany. I think it was they shot all over the place, but it was a very fun film. It's got Sophie Okonedo in it, Jamie Dornan. It's got quite a few people. It's fun. It was a fun shoot. I also have a podcast called Niger Girls Dish. I co-host with my good friend Dolapo Oni. Niger Girls Dish on Instagram. You can find us. And also
giving me all the tea.
Follow me on Instagram, Diana Yekinni. Just kind of my name. Very simple.
Okay, so we love Diana. Please look for her, join her, watch her projects. Thank you to everyone listening, and see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye, guys.